Purposes, this is the continuation of the scientific notation lesson. So, those of you that are not copying it down today, can do so on the video, and I will post it. Okay, so what we're going to do is, first of all, make sure on your notes that you have written the converting scientific notation to standard form on your notes, okay? So step one for that's going the opposite way. If it's already in scientific notation, like it shows in the example, to go back to regular or standard form. So what you want to do is you want to find the number of the exponent on the 10. If you need to pause the video and write this down, do it now. If not, and you already have this, just follow along with me for the example. Okay, for this one then, to find the number of the exponent on the 10, it's right here. It is 6. And so what you want to do is move the decimal that number of places to the right. So I would rewrite this number, 7.00005419. so that I can move the decimal a little bit easier. So I need to move it 6 spots to the right. So I'm going to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then that's where we want that decimal to be. Now you rewrite the number, adding commas and zeros if necessary. So what you want to do is rewrite it, 7000054.19, and then you don't have to put the commas in, but a lot of times in Odyssey where they will. So starting at the decimal, you count every 3. 1, 2, 3, comma, 1, 2, 3, comma. So it's really 7,054.19, and this is the answer. Okay, and so we'll go over a little bit more of that in a second, but I want to do one last part on the note page while we're here, and then I'll go over it on the assignment. Okay, the last thing is when we are working with really small numbers. So far we've been working with really large numbers, but on the last part, we're now going to talk about the negative exponents. So this number right here, even though there are a lot of zeros, this means this is a really, really, really small number, okay? It's like the size of the speck of a dust. So what we want to do in this case is very similar. We need to rewrite this number with the first number being between 1 and 10. So what I need is for that decimal to go behind the 5, so that it's 5. Always times 10. And then we're going to count the number of spaces that you would move it. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 spaces. So your exponent is 23, but because it's a really small number, it's negative 23, and that's the answer. Okay, well, let me explain it again. Last one. If you have a number like this, 0.00012, again, that's a really small number. What we want to do is move that decimal so it's behind the first number other than 0. We want to move it between the 1 and the 2. So we start with 1.2. That's higher than 1 and less than 10. Times 10, always times 10. Count now the number of spaces you moved it. You moved it 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. So your exponent is 4, but since it's such a really small number, it's negative 4, and that's the answer. Okay, now I'm going to switch gears here. You already have this. Yesterday we worked on 4-7 side. Today, scientific notation is 4-8 side. So I'm going to do some of them with you. And then when you're finished with it, you'll turn this into the sub. And I'll get them on Monday. And then Friday's assignment is in Odysseyware. Okay, so let's do some examples together. The first section is all in scientific notation, and you got to put them back in standard. Okay, so let's start with number 1. 1.5 times 10 to the third power. This number, this 3, tells us that we have to move the decimal 3 spots. My advice to you is use a separate sheet of paper so that you can have enough space to write this stuff in. Otherwise, it might drive you crazy with that. So I'm going to do another sheet of paper, and I'm going to write it on here. So 1.5. I'll start with that. It says move it 3 spots. Okay, 1, 2, 3. If they are empty, we will fill those spots with zeros. Okay, now I'm going to rewrite it. 1, 5, 0, 0, and my decimal is at the end. My answer is 1,500 for the first one. Okay, let's go again. Number 2. This was number 1. Number 2, we have 4.01 times 10 to the 4th power. Okay, let's rewrite it. 4.01. This 4 right here tells me I'm going to move the decimal 4 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 2 empty spots. I will fill those, if they're empty, with zeros. And then you rewrite it so it doesn't look like this hot mess. 4, 0, 1, 0, 0, and your decimal's at the end. Now, where it gets a little bit more confusing is down at the bottom, because now we have some negative exponents in there, okay? And so we're going to skip down to number, let's go to number 10, okay? 1.2 times 10 to the negative 6. Okay, so I'm going to start with 1.2. And now I've got to move that decimal 6 spots. Well, if I move it right, it's going to give me a really big number. So I actually should have started my 1.2 over here, because I'm negative. I'm moving it out to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you fill those spots with zeros. And then don't leave it that hot mess. You want to rewrite it as 0.0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, and that's the answer for number 10. So the idea is, if it's negative, we're moving it out to the left because we need it to be this decimal. If it's positive, we're going to move it out to the right to get it to be a big number. Okay. The next section, let's skip to it so you have some examples there. Express each number in scientific notation. Okay, let's start with number 17. So, number 17, you've got 1 million. I like to rewrite it with no commas in it, and the decimal goes at the end. Okay, so we need to move the decimal, and we need to move it right behind the 1. So we have 1.0 always times 10, and the number that's the exponent is how many spots? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots. That's our answer. Okay. Let's try number 18 while we're here. I have 17400. Decimal goes at the end. Okay, where does it need to go for our answer? It needs to go between the 1 and 7. 1.74. You don't have to write the rest of the zeros. Times 10. How many spots did we move it? 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. That's our answer. All right. Just to make sure you're doing everything correctly, let's do the last one that's like the other way. Okay, let's look at number 21. The difference with number 21 is we now have a decimal. We have a small number. Okay, so small is going to be a negative exponent. Okay, so what we're going to do is the decimal is already there. We don't have to put it in, but we do have to move it. We need it to be between the 2 and 7, so it's 2.7. Times 10. How many spots did we move it? 1, 2, 3, 4 spots, but this has to be negative because it was this decimal, and that's the answer. Okay, hopefully that's enough examples so that you guys can get through the lesson without me today. You do not have to do the last section, so you may cross out 33 through 38 at the bottom. Okay, and then you'll turn this part into the sub, and I will get it Monday and grade it. On Friday, you'll log into Odysseyware and do the scientific notation lesson in Odysseyware and do the questions in there. Okay, that's it.
Please don't press the wrong button.
Seriously, I better not press the wrong button.
You hear little bang like gorillas over there, man.
Okay, I did hear. Hold on, wait, we're still recording. Okay.